books that I have gotten recently to read in 2024. Now, I am not in my usual setting. I am hunched like a leprechaun on the floor because I'm at my girlfriend's family's house, and I apologize. It's dinner time. You might hear sounds of people moving around. Sorry about that. There's also a little heater that is struggling for its life right next to me, and so you might hear that as well. My sincerest apologies. Okay, welcome to the video. I have with me a decaf cappuccino that I got from a coffee shop near me that's open till 10 p.m., which in this neighborhood, that's a miracle. Anything open until 10 p.m. is a miracle. I think this place is new. But anyway, yeah, it's really, really good. I love decaf at night. It's never too late for coffee. Okay, let's get into it. Books for 2024. Okay, this is in no particular order. I'm just gonna go with what I have right in front of me. And that is The Nature of Alexander by Mary Renault. This is such a cool little book. My girlfriend is really obsessed with Alexander the Great. She made me watch that 3-hour-long movie with Angelina Jolie as Alexander's mom. A really weird movie, but I really enjoyed it, and I've enjoyed learning about Alexander the Great as a person. We share a name. My name's not Alexander, but it's Alexandra, So, this is his biography. She has another book that is kind of a fictionalized version of his life, or at least told creatively. But my girlfriend and I saw this at a bookstore and got it because we both want to read it. I might let her read it before me. But I think this inspired the movie Alexander, or that movie is based off of this. So that is book number 1 for 2024. I'm just gonna feel what I got next to me. Okay. This book. This is Fifth Business by Robertson Davies. Now, I don't know who Robertson Davies is, and I had never heard of him or his books until I went into a used bookstore and I just saw that they had pretty much everything he's ever written. Somebody must have donated, their entire collection or something, but this is the first book in a trilogy. And I really was drawn to it because it mentioned, I think in the second book, it mentioned that the protagonist in this kind of discovers for himself Jungian psychology and archetypes. And I think he might use it to solve a mystery. I think either his father's murdered or disappeared, or somebody is missing. It just seemed like an interesting, easy read, and some of the best books I have ever read came from me just picking them off the shelf and taking a chance on them. Actually, this next author is one such author that I discovered. I just randomly picked up a book and I read it front to back within maybe 2 days. I could not put it down. That author is Dan Simmons. This book is called Drood. That book that I initially picked up is called Terror. The Terror, I think. Drood. Drood is about I guess it's historical fiction, but it's about Charles Dickens, his friendship with Wilkie Collins, and this mysterious figure named Drood, who may or may not be the downfall of Charles Dickens. It is, of course, set in Victorian England and is very gothic in its imagery. And I love it. I actually read this years ago and picked it out to reread in 2024. A fun fact about me is that 3 years ago, coming up on 3 years ago, I had a stroke, and I'm mostly recovered now, but my memory is just not the same. I didn't have a good memory before. We can blame the internet, blame social media, but after the stroke, I definitely don't. And so I want to slowly take what I remembered to be my favorite books and reread them, as a new person, a new year. So, Drood. I really like Dan Simmons because he pulls things from history. So, the back of this book says that he explores Dickens' mysterious last years, and inserts this scary, weird character, semi-supernatural character, into his biographical story. So, if you like horror books, scary books, I highly recommend this one. It's easy to read, and Dan Simmons is great at disturbing, eerie, kind of romantic imagery. Okay, that's Drood. Okay, moving on to the only other reread that's in this pile. I read Crime and Punishment. Crime and Punishment by Dostoevsky. Years ago, and I remember the basics, but I cannot, for the life of me, remember how it ends. I know our protagonist, I know what he does, but I don't remember the end at all. So, 2024, I'm going to revisit that. I also really like this copy. It's very, very small. It's a Bantam classic. It's just easy to carry. Also, sorry about the street noise right outside. This is a really busy road. You'll notice my other videos, it's pretty quiet because I live out in the country. She lives in the outskirts of a big city. And people drive wild here, and all hours of the night. I don't get it. Go home, Okay, coffee break. Are you a big coffee drinker? I was not a coffee drinker until college. I made it through high school, and high school was something else. I knew people addicted to energy drinks, Monster energy drinks. It was nasty. It was that level of desperately trying to stay awake. High school was kind of brutal. College was not as intense somehow. At least what I saw the people around me, people were, breezing by. I just, C's get degrees kind of mentality. But I got into coffee because it was social. And I'm thankful I didn't get into smoking because that's social too. More people around me were drinking coffee than smoking, so, coffee it is. Also, as far as ASMR goes, I'm really into just people talking and soft-speaking or whispering, and I love tapping. So I kind of do that in my videos. I really don't do other triggers. I kind of want to try though this year, I don't know. I want to try to do different little sounds and stuff. Sometimes those can actually irritate me, so I don't do them, but I'll think about it. I'm rambling. Even decaf has caffeine, let me tell you. Alright. The next book on this list. The Talented Mr. Ripley. I'd never heard of this book. I had never heard of this movie. I don't understand how I missed it, but, I don't know. This exists. I think this is about a con artist, an elaborate, unscrupulous con artist who I think steals people's identities. Yeah, I think so. Yes. Okay, maybe he kills people. I don't know. But I love any type of, the movie Catch Me If You Can with Leonardo DiCaprio. I like an anti-hero. Yeah. And I think there's a bunch of these books with this protagonist. But, I wanted to start here. I've heard good things. And after I read this book, I want to watch the movie. I've got 2 books left. 2 books left. Let's keep going. Okay. Yes. Okay. This book, I'm actually already reading. It's, as I'm recording this, it's January the 2nd. And I'm only about 30 pages in, but this is my first book of 2024. It is Nausea by Jean-Paul Sartre. Nausea. I'm a big fan of existentialist literature. I know it is kind of depressing and self-deprecating, but it actually makes me feel better about the world. I've got my next video, actually, the one after this, is gonna be about the best book I read in 2023, and it's by Sartre. It made me feel instantly better about being a young adult in the world, even though he's like a super curmudgeonly, sarcastic, dry kind of guy. I really like it. But, this book, of course, is pretty dark. It's about a protagonist. It's in the form of a diary. And our protagonist in this diary is essentially talking about his extreme perceptions of the world around him. And the world around him makes him sick, hence the title, Nausea. But, I'm very, very excited to finish this book. I would love to read some of it on the channel. And, yes, it's just so good. I love his writing. And I've never read this, so going into the new year with a new book and some new perspectives. it's funny too. This was unplanned, but my books have a bit of a color scheme. They're all kind of gray and brown and depressing looking. I don't know what that means. Yeah, see, they're kind of dark, but I like that kind of literature. These are also things that I'm reading for fun. I have to read some things as part of a paper I am writing. That's going to be more academic literature, nonfiction, and intense. Not kind of easy reading for sure. The last book that I want to read in 2024, I forgot this is another reread. Now, I read this before the stroke and I loved it, and now I don't remember. I remember some of the really dark, disturbing scenes, but I actually don't. There's so many gaps. It's basically like I have not read this book. The only, A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. Elsewhere on this channel, in another video, I talked about her book, People in the Trees. It is an incredibly dark book, but very good, and I would recommend it to anybody. A Little Life I know to be similarly devastating. She really sticks to a handful of dynamics that are pretty uncomfortable, specifically child abuse. But yeah, there's something about her writing that is very human. She is one of the best authors that I have read who is alive today. Hanya Yanagihara. Okay, that's it. That's my stack of books that I want to read. Okay. Thank you so much for watching this video. And once again, I apologize for the noise you may have heard. I know the street sounds can be kind of loud. I love cappuccinos because they kind of taste like toast. I think when they're really good, they have a toasted bread flavor that I enjoy. Alright, happy 2024 everybody. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next